everybody. Today we're going to be talking about our next project, Shape Wars. We are going to learn about shapes, not just by making them, but by actually engaging in conflict with them. And here's some examples of some projects that have been done. And you can see these particular shapes that have gone into battle are hearts versus arrows. So for this project, we are going to create a drawing inspired by conflict and story. And you're going to learn the ways that shapes, balance, and color can create a dynamic composition that will express your ideas. And today we are going to determine our teams that will go into battle. So first, think about what two teams, aka shapes, you want to bring into battle. And hopefully you have an art kit from me. You're going to need a few supplies. You are going to need scissors, pencil, and some kind of thick paper to cut out or thin cardboard. I have some cardstock here. If you don't have cardstock, get creative. Something you could do is you could find packaging and that thin cardboard of packaging. You open that right up. Check out the inside. It's nice and light. You can draw on there and cut that out. That would be amazing. So get creative. Extra points for creative problem solving. I'm going to use the blue just because it's easier for you guys to see. So determine your two teams and start off nice and light. I often will just fold my card in half so I can keep them relatively similar and decide what two shapes you want to do. You can be as simple or as complex as you want. Perhaps today I will do an arrow. So I'm going to start with a large arrow and I'm just sketching it out with my pencil. And then maybe I do a medium arrow, which is basically just a triangle and a rectangle. And then maybe I have a small arrow. And just for size guidelines, I'm kind of going like double the size of a quarter to about the size of a dime. So kind of keep that in mind. And then maybe for my other shape, I'm going to do a heart. So I'll do a big heart. Again, sketch it out. Do the best you can. A medium heart. And a little tiny heart. And then the next phase that I do is I just kind of go back and I make these a little bit easier to see, a little bit more precise before I cut them out. I'm going to use a marker so you can see better, but feel free to just go over it again with another pencil layer. And also, if you have any shapes that have straight edges, you will definitely want to use some kind of a straight edge. Let's get creative here. We don't need a ruler. So I'm just going to use that same tissue box, pull the edge off, and this edge, no way, that's not straight at all. But this one is, so I can use that to help me with my arrows. Get creative. You have a ruler? Go ahead and use the ruler. But most of us, we just got to use what we got at home. There we are. Bloop. And I'm going ahead and I'm kind of perfecting my shapes before I cut them out. And again, you could do this with your pencil just by pushing harder. You don't need to use a separate marker. I just want to make it easy for you to see. So there you go. I'm going over all my shapes. You get the point, right? And if you have things like circles, get creative. Things around you in your world, in your environment, they're circular. Maybe it's the bottom of a cup. Maybe it's the inside of a tape. Maybe it's the bottom of chapstick. But go ahead and find some round things and some straight things and finalize your shapes. So that's the next step. Feel free to pause this video if you need to slow down a little bit. And don't be afraid to go back and forth with the video. That's one advantage of having technology. You can pause your teachers and you can fast forward your teachers and you can have your teachers instantly repeat. So take advantage of that. Oh, gotta do this guy. And there's my little one. Now we're gonna cut out our shapes. And before I do, I don't want to lose them. I'm afraid they're gonna fall on the floor and get vacuumed up. So write your name. Right? Do not throw away, right? Whatever on your shapes so you know that they won't get thrown away. In fact, I also take an extra step and I'm going to put them in a baggie when I'm done. So here we go. Grab my scissors. Make your life easier. We're not going to use the straps. So cut your shapes out real quick so the paper is smaller like that. And then go ahead and cut the edges off. You can get rid of the scraps. You can recycle them. Cut these edges off. Cut these edges off. And get your teams cut out. All right, so I'm cutting out my teams and I'm recycling my scraps. And when you are all done, you're gonna have a small, medium, and large version of one shape and a small, medium, and large version of your other shape. This is like a cooking show. Let me show you what that looks like. I've also done some squares and circles, so you guys can check those out. So you'll say, when I was done, I have my large, medium, and my small shape. And then I had my large, my medium, and my small circle. And remember, keep them someplace safe. Maybe you paper clip them. Maybe you put them in a baggie. Maybe you have a little envelope. But do not lose your shapes because we will need them for the next few days as we get ready to engage in our battle. Thanks for hanging with me. Can't wait to see you for phase 1. The charge!